there's been a lot of crap that's gone on in the last few days. But before I talk about the crap, I'm not happy with the New York Times because they have yet to publish an obituary about dancing great Tommy Rall, who was well known among especially fans of dance and of the Hollywood musical. And he was most prominent in the 50s in the movies. He made a few films, and then later, or even before that, he was on the stage quite a bit. And then later he was an opera singer. But he just got the shaft by the NYT. They didn't even pay a bit of attention to this guy because he was way more talented than Gene Kelly and Fred Astaire put together. He was absolutely out of this universe. And some of his best work is known in Kiss Me Kate, My Sister Eileen, and then, of course, in Seven Brides for Seven Brothers, in that barn-raising sequence especially. He was just unbelievable. Just, it defies description. Anything that a dancer could do, he could do, and he could do it better. So I think the New York Times needs to get off its ass and actually do right by this guy, because he had obituaries written in other media sources, but they would not. They've yet to do anything with the New York Times. So undoubtedly his name will be under their special section called Overlooked No More, because he passed away about 2 months ago, and I didn't find out until yesterday that he had passed away. So anyway, Tommy Rall was one of the best, and going from one of the greats to one of the worst. Of course, we're back to Trump land again, and the completely alternate reality, and shit is really going down in Texas. This guy that's the Attorney General there, his name is Ken Paxton. He, of course, is a crook, or he's under investigation for being a crook. But he wants the Supreme Court to overturn the election. Now, Texas has absolutely no case to present. They have no standing. It's because these crybabies didn't get their way, and they couldn't rig the election well enough for Trump to offset all the people that voted for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. So they're throwing a hissy fit. And of course, so far with Trump and Trump's backers filing lawsuits, it's been like at least 51 cases that have gone against them versus one quote-unquote victory. And this, of course, isn't going to go anywhere. But the bigger insanity is, let's see, can I find it? 17 states have filed a brief in the Supreme Court in support of Texas's request that the justices throw out the results of the presidential election. And 4 other states that didn't support President Trump. And it's so bogus. It's so totally bogus. They're throwing a fit. And this is what happens when a country's been totally fucked up without a fairness doctrine to ensure that this kind of crap doesn't become rampant. Well, at least, with this alternative facts and all this other stuff. And I'll put this little silly brief. And how many? 30 pages? How the hell? Well, a lot of these are just make it big print, make sure there's plenty of white space around it. And I guess then you can get 30 pages of shit in there. But they're trying to overturn an election, and of course that's sedition. That's outright sedition. Or advocating for sedition. So anyway, these babies are throwing a fit. And Saturday, speaking of babies, what the hell? Oh, I don't want that one. I want this one over here. On Saturday, and I'll be sure to do a video about it, but religious and political activists who are trying to commit sedition against the United States That's the way I call it. Will converge on Washington December the 12th, as if that's going to change anything, because all the states now are certified for the election. And next Tuesday, I think it is, the 14th, I believe it is, the Electoral College will vote, and then in January, Congress will certify the votes, and that'll be it. And Biden will be inaugurated on January 20th, 2021. But these nitwits, these diehards, these seditious individuals, these terrorists, whatever you want to call them, and of course it's got Roger Stone's filthy fingerprints all over it. But they're going to converge on Washington, and not just there, but apparently a set of marchers in a rally meant to amplify a unifying message for the nation that blends the political and spiritual aspects on the fight for election integrity. They don't give a shit about election integrity. If this had come out, if Trump had actually won the election, do you think they'd give a shit about election integrity? No. But so many people turned out to vote for Biden and Harris, and to date over 7 million more, and handily won the EC. They can't understand that people didn't want their mentally ill standard bearer in the White House anymore to ruin the country. These people are batshit. Okay, so anyway, they call it the Jericho Marchers. And of course, there's that, and then Stop the Steal, Roger Stone, and then Phyllis Schlafly, Eagles. Anyway, they're going to simultaneously march around the U.S. Capitol, Supreme Court, and Department of Justice 7 times, praying for the walls of corruption and election fraud to fall down. Just as Joshua and the Israelites walked around the walls of corrupt Jericho. Well, I think it happened one night, and the walls of Jericho separating Claudette Colbert and Clark Gable. That's about the only time that in the modern times, that the walls of Jericho fell. But anyway, they're going to do a damn march, and I'll be sure to see it and comment on it. But another development that I found is Johnny-come-latelys. Let's see what we have here. Bloomberg says here, YouTube to delete new false election videos, even Trump's. Well, people like that idiot Lance Wallnau, that divinely stupid Mark Taylor, all of these people that are into all this conspiracy shit, and they've been peddling these lies about election fraud and stuff, their channels are about done. They'll have to go over to Parler or whatever. Parler's going to have to deal with it, and of course, eventually, they're going to lose a home there. So I don't know what platforms they'll go on. But once old Biden gets in there, and hopefully he puts teeth back in the Johnson Amendment, this nonsense by these televangelists will stop. And they'll actually have to talk about the Bible, which I suspect is something they really don't have a understanding of it anyway, because Pentecostal and charismatic churches are a bastardization of Christianity. They're totally bastardized and have nothing to do with it. They're strictly 19th and 20th century inventions and have nothing to do with historical Christianity. So they've always been about the world. They've never really been about the Bible. They use the Bible as a shield. But here, getting back to Bloomberg, it says here, YouTube said it will start deleting videos that mislead people about the outcome of the U.S. presidential election, a move that could include future postings for President Donald Trump. I can't wait, as an aside, I can't wait to see what's going to happen with Twitter, if he's going to end up getting banned there once Biden gets in there. The video platform owned by Alphabet Inc.'s Google said it has seen more people turn to the site over the past weeks and months for information about the fiercely fought election. More than a month after the November 3rd vote, Trump has refused to concede his loss to President-elect Joe Biden and continues to promote the disproven view that there was widespread voting fraud and mismanaged ballot counting. And what the fraud there was probably on Trump's side. But there wasn't enough of it to make any difference, even if there was. But Trump's YouTube channel, which has 2.5 million subscribers, currently has a video of him explaining ongoing efforts to expose this tremendous voter fraud and irregularities which took place during the ridiculously long November 3rd elections. And then, of course, Twitter, they talk about Twitter, where Trump says the same thing, and Twitter has labeled those. And so hopefully they start cracking down on this shit. Because enough is enough. The election's over. Deal with it. If you damn fools that support Trump don't like it, there's other countries to move to. There's dictatorships. It would be more to your liking. But we live in a pluralistic society. We live in a secular country, and deal with it. So deal with it and shut up.